Hamilton, come in here.
Yes?
We have to decide between equal representation of states and representation by population. I have no idea what that means.
Well, equal representation means that bigger and smaller states have the same amount of representation. Each state would have one vote in Congress rather than it being decided by population.
Okay. Yes, why don't you explain it to me like I'm an 8-year-old?
Okay, if accounting and sales both have a say in an important decision, equal representation would have one person from each department representing them, whereas representation by population would have everyone from the department have a say no matter the size.
All right. Now, why don't you break it down in terms of I think I'm getting you?
Okay, either you get all the tea or the tea is evenly distributed among the office.
Well, obviously I want all the tea. What's the question? Which plan is that?
The Virginia plan?
Well, that's settled.
Okay, just so you know, people in the office might be a little upset if they find out about this. So just keep it on the down low for now, okay?
I'm not an idiot, Hamilton.
Okay.
Remember, Washington, keep it on the down low.
Guess what, guys? Christmas came early this year. Hamilton very cleverly suggested how to fairly split delegates into 2 houses of representation. Do you know how we're going to do that?
Equal representation?
Nope.
Representation by population?
Yes!
What?
Wait, what does the T stand for?
Tea!
The Virginia plan is obviously the best option. We all agree this meeting is just to prove to Washington that I am his right-hand man. People say, oh, it's dangerous to keep weapons in the house. Well, I say it's better to be heard by someone you know than someone on accident. Once I'm officially president, my first order of business will be to demote George Washington, so that I will need a number 2 choice. My ideal choice, John Locke, but he's unavailable, dead, and, well, overqualified. Patterson, you and I both agree that the Virginia plan is the most efficient because it's based on the department population and the department's contribution in revenue to the government. So, the bigger departments should have more power.
What would lessening the representation of the smaller departments do? What would we do without our HR representative? How will your complaints about the room temperature be heard? Without HR, where would we be?
Well. Now, you and I both know that nobody cares about HR. The department's voice is best represented through the number of people in the department. It would make no sense to give departments equal representation because, well, not all departments deserve it, and should have the same amount of power as larger departments. It's wasting time to give them all a voice. Let's just keep it simple and safe and stick with the population vote.
Let's settle this like real delegates. Washington, it's time.
Guys, I've come up with a great idea. I've talked to the other departments and we've come up with a solution. Hangman.
L for Locke?
Nope.
R for representation.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? This is taking too long.
Great.
Compost.
It's a great compromise.
The what? What is that? What's that?
Well, essentially, in a great compromise, you will have equal votes in the Senate, but your population or your representation in the House will be based on your population.
Oh. Wait, I like that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I have good ideas, you know.